No, Bart, stop that.
I can see the tone of this hangout's already set.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Amazing Plastics Across the Pond Hangout. I'm your host extraordinaire, Scratch and Jack Holzer. Amazing Plastic is a Google Plus community of amazing plastic scale modelers. I'm telling you what, guys. Let's get over there. And of all shapes and sizes, as you see, and interests and genres and skill levels, who like to share their tips and tricks with one another, learn more about their crafts, and celebrate one another's scale modeling achievements. And today we have joining us Amazing Plastic members as well as followers of Amazing Plastic to talk scale modeling. Did I say that fast enough?
Yes, you did.
Okay, next up we have Carwin. How you doing, Carwin?
Not too bad, Jack. Thank you very much. Doing okay. I'm currently working on a Doctor Who Tomb of the Cybermen cyber pistol. So it's coming along. I've got a double handle at the front end for it, and it's going to be fully lit and trigger operated.
Nice.
There's never been a Tomb of the Cybermen pistol made before, so it's all scratched up, and I'm trying to get it as close to the studio prop as possible.
Cool. Oh, excuse me. I do that. My back hurts. Very good, Carwin. It was. You also have a channel about movies. Is that right?
Hi, Zach. Hello. Sorry about that. There's a sales call. Yes, I do. Yeah, let's talk movies. Yeah. Just generally, it's just a channel that talks about new upcoming movies, some of the older movies, likes and dislikes, peeves, and things like that.
Sure.
So yeah.
I also have to say the beard is making you very English.
Well, it's coming off today.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So everybody get a good look at that.
I can do a sort of the evil sort of.
Let's try that. I can't do that, but try that. How you doing, Heath?
I'm very well, thank you, Jack. Very, very well today. It's 9:30 at night over here in Australia, and very cold day.
It's winter, isn't it?
Oh yes, it's very cold. Yes, that's why I got long sleeves on.
It's what, 20 degrees Celsius?
It was 14 today. 14 degrees today.
That's what, in the 40s, late low 50s. Right? What's that?
To get his shorts on and get to the beach. What's the matter with you?
Yeah.
British summer.
Hey, look, spring start till September, so.
So what does it? I want to ask you. So what does it do to your modeling? The weather.
It stuffs around with my modelling. You know, I mean, I normally do my modelling in spring through the autumn.
Sure.
Or the fall, because in winter time I can't do jack shit.
I have nothing to do with it, I promise.
It's too cold. It's just too cold.
Is it? Well, it yeah, it does put a kink in my arrangement of doing models during the winter. But it's summer here, or at least it's trying to be. It's actually pretty cool today, and it has been.
If I could just do a little plug.
Oh, what's that?
If I could just do a little plug-in.
I didn't get that.
If I can just have a bit of a plug for my new show.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You know what? I was on a hangout this past Wednesday. It was, tell me, what was the community, Heath?
It's the hangout of the Isle of Misfits Builders. Started by Jay and of Scale Model Builders. Yes, the Isle of Misfits Scale Model Builders. And started by Jay, and
this is not a bad
observation. The hangout.
This is not a bad observation. I want to cut in because it's not a bad observation. It's actually a compliment to you, Heath. If you want to join a chaotic hangout, it's a lot of fun. It is so much fun, and I'm glad I joined this past Wednesday. So it's just so like all over the place about stuff. But Jay showed us a lot of stuff, and maybe others would be showing. It's just a lot of different things that you do on that show, isn't it?
Well, I'll tell you this much. The topic for this week, on this Wednesday/Thursday my time, topic is: do you or do you not like your models, and with what?
And if they were real, would you make love to them?
What do you mean?
That's very interesting. I want to put that out with Jay.
I've got to join this just for the experience.
Well, let's put it this way. Last week's episode has had, in the past 48 hours, well, actually, from the first 2 hours that it's been up, I have already had 37 views.
Very good. It'll pick up. It'll pick up.
Yeah, and that was in the first 24 hours.
Heath, do you post the notification on the Google Plus page?
Yes, I do.
Good. Okay.
Yes, I do. It's right underneath the events page.
Okay.
Just look for the Hangout of the Isle of Misfits Model Builders.
Yeah, I know, because I did get an invite this week, but I missed it. By the time I saw the invite come in, I was asleep, so I'll look at it this week.
That's all right. But no, it's a great little community. Started by Jay, who I consider my brother from another mother, because he and I mean, if it wasn't for Jay and I sitting down just talking one day, it's just like, boom. But that's enough about my show. Back to yours, Jay. Back to yours, Jay.
And next up we have James.
I don't want to take over. I've already got my show. I don't want to take over.
That's okay. Yeah. How you doing, James?
I'm not doing too bad there, Jack. Yeah, I'm doing fine.
Summer's keeping you from the bench, I hear.
Yeah, not a lot getting done that way. I still find I have a very hard time getting the bench mojo going in the summertime. And I'd rather spend it outside if I can rather than inside.
Well, you're Canadian. You can probably explain this to me because you're Canadian.
Yeah.
Why are you having a summer and the States is not? It's just been cold here in the States for being summer.
Well, I can't say it's actually been summer, at least not in our part. We've been mostly rain. This has been probably one of the wettest summers we've had in a few years. And the temperatures have all been in around the 20s. We've had a couple of days that got up into the 30 degrees Celsius mark. So it's been a rather cooler summer, actually.
What does humid weather do to your modeling?
Well, it's a big problem because it affects if it's really humid, it affects the paper, and the paper just does not respond well for shaping and that because it gets just a little damp. So if it's really humid, I just don't bother working on it at all because they never get good results.
Yeah, well, we got to say that James here is a paper modeler, and all his models don't come on sprues; they come on 8.5 by 11s, which is kind of interesting. I'm exaggerating, of course, but yeah, it's actually what you do is quite amazing.
Thank you.
Well, actually, Dirk Pitt's starting to do them now.
And next up we have Mike, patiently waiting and sitting there, trying to stay awake. I'm sure it's early in the morning there, too. What are you up to there, mister?
Oh, man. Just kind of getting motivated with the old coffee.
The mojo?
Well, the elixir of life. I'm back in the saddle. I've been kind of absent for about 3 weeks because I've been doing some remodeling, not modeling, which kind of sucks. And you have to put everything back on your shelves, and all the furniture comes in your shop. You know, leaves you about 2 feet of room to walk in here. So, and everything is in front of the paint booth. But I did get a new model. I got a brand new one.
Awesome. Tell us about it.
AMT Hot Rod Magazine Ford Mustang.
There's not enough of those being built. Funny cars.
You know, it's becoming more and more of a trend. You're seeing a lot more out there, you know, being stamped out. noticed they just released Don Garles's old dragster, the one with the motor in the front of it, which back in the day that was kind of scary. Top fuel.
Right.
Exploding your face.
I'd love to build one. When I was a kid, I probably built 2 or 3 of those, and I just remember having fun doing it because, just as the name of it is a funny car. You feel like you're building a dragster, and then you throw the body on, and it's like totally different. And then, of course, you can prop it up like that and display it in that manner. That's actually pretty cool. That's probably one of my favorite models when I was a kid to build, and I'm glad they're coming back. We need to build more of those. What do you think, guys?
Well, they've always been interesting. So.
I'm still working on the Batmobile. I'm finally going to jump back onto that.
Uh-huh.
Because I ruined the decals on it. Kind of had a bad incident here on the trunk where the water was a little too warm and it did the shrinky dink on me. Kind of scary.
Uh-huh.
Thanks to our friends at JT Graphics, I got a new set of decals.
Nice.
More detailed type graphics or decals that has a little extra ones for the back. The back of the trunk here, the louvers for the back of that, and I just think they're all better colored, to be honest with you. Oh, they do an extra decal. It's nice. 2 extra ones. One decal for Batman's emblem on his chest, and the itty bitty little Robin's decal for him. So I've already built this kit once, and boy, if you can paint that decal or that emblem on his chest, good luck.
Well, the decal thing that you're experiencing, Tony McCash had experienced it on a build. I'm going to show it a little later. And you know what? I just told him, I said, why don't you just do, he says, well, I still got to dull coat it. I said, the dull coat will take care of that. And in fact, it did. So I know what you're telling. It's a little crinkling and uplifting on the edges of decals, something about the decals that does that. But once you finish it off with your gloss or your
This model was not painted. It was, what is it? A couple coats of acrylic gloss. And pledge. And buffed. And then I did it again. Gloss, pledge, buff. And that's how I got the shine on it, besides the dust from being on the shelf. Actually, last night was the first night I pushed all the stuff out of this shop and took the stuff off the shelf. So.
Do you put decals on before or after a gloss coat?
Actually, I'm going to do it in between the two. That's
nice.
That's the best when you sandwich them in between.
Yeah.
There's no, they won't come off. Even what tendency is with decals, I found out with plastic. Just as a child doing models, about a year or two, they start peeling off when you don't put the clear on top of them. It's like I've had a few models after, about 2 years of sitting on your shelf, and you go to touch it, the wheels fall off.
Yeah. Plus, also, if you don't clear coat decals, after a while they will start yellowing.
That too?
Yeah. So you've
your film starts to go yellow, yeah.
Would they yellow even if they are gloss coated and totally embalmed in the stuff?
Yeah, no, they're fine then. But if you don't put a clear coat on top of your decals, you might get a little bit of curling if they've been in the sun. But they will definitely go yellow. They will definitely start discoloring.
So clear coat is important for decals.
Oh yeah. It's the final stage whereby you can dull coat it or you can gloss coat it or satin varnish, but you should really put something on after it as well. If you just put the decals on top, they're fragile and they will discolor.
Well, like Mike does it, he glasses it and sandwiches in between multiple layers. I like to put my decals on a glass coat because they work a lot better than just plainly on the paint. The paint has a texture. Glass coat, of course, has less of a texture. But yeah, afterwards, that's what Tony did on his Voyager. Hey, why don't I just share it right now? What the hey? Of course, on.
It is that it
Here we go.
Color, so you didn't have to paint.
He had a problem with the name plate there, Voyager, the registry number, and well, he put the dull coat on, and you could see it just totally disappeared.
Yeah,
the detail just totally disappeared, the edges. And that's what we're talking about here, guys, is, you know, do your glass coats and your dull coats. Once you paint it decaled, it's not over yet. So that's what Mike is talking about. So tell us more, Mike. You said you got an X-Wing there, too?
Yeah, I'm about ready to finish that up. This is an AMT that there's bigger fish to fry out there, and I'm impressed with the masking from the Aztec dummy. First time I've got to use actually any kind of final masking like that. Interesting challenge.
I see you're doing blue leader.
What's that?
Looks like you're doing blue leader, or am I wrong? You're doing red leader or blue leader?
Blue leader.
Nice.
But, it's all right. I did a few little custom pieces. Like this kit was an open box, and I'm missing some pieces. And I had to make a few pieces. It's an AMT. It's not the best X-Wing fighter out there. I think there's bigger fish to fry.
Sure.
You know, this is a nice jumping point if you want to be honest with you. I bought a $2 plaque at Walmart yesterday. I got it over here in the booth, painting it. I'm not going to go fancy-dancy on the plaque, you know, primer, paint, just shoot it with some black and call it good.
Well, in some ways, you and I are very similar in our model building. We'll build whatever we like, whether it's sci-fi cars or whatever else. I'm going to get into armor. I want to get into armor. So moving on, we have Phil. How you doing, Phil?
Good, thanks, everyone. I've, like James, not getting too much done, but still working on the Missouri. She saw her first action last weekend in the Battle of Black Paint Strait and lost a rudder. But apart from that, the dazzle's done on the hull.
I think we should clear this up as well. He's actually working on a model of the Missouri, not to be confused with the actual Missouri.
Yes, it is rather large. We would think that you're actually working on the actual Missouri.
Well, that's what Coward says. So she did see her first action, Coward. Anyway, because there's nearly 5 feet of model here, there's a balance between how long I can leave masking tape on and wait for the acrylics to set up, because it's mask and remask over fresh paint, etc. But it's done now. All I've got to do is do the hull red and repair the battle damage. And I'm continuing to work on all the 1,000,001 little pieces. As I said earlier, I'm doing a bit of gunnery at the moment, painting the guns. But next up on the bench will be another small model, which is the...
Oh, jeez.
This is the
109.
For all you viewers, size does matter.
Well, this is until they make a 1/2 scale car, I'm not going to do one. They're too small.
Well, I think there are small nations getting worried about what you were doing, Phil. I think they're expecting you to invade at some point.
Well, I'm a sleeper in the States, you see. Quietly sitting here in New York, raising my own navy.
The fourth is starting to get a bit of an edge.
For our defence cutbacks, we finish up with a bigger navy than the Royal Navy.
And it costs about a millionth of what Trident does.
You know, I'm starting to have the problem with size 2, and I got this because Bob has been building it.
Yeah.
Oh yes, yes.
So this is a huge. It's not very thick, very deep, I should say, but it's actually quite large.
How big is it?
Apparently, there's 2 kits in this.
Yeah, I mean, how long is the model itself? What's the length of that box?
I'd say about 24, about 2 feet, maybe.
Oh, it's a good size.
Yes,
That's the box, but there's a lot of empty space inside. That's well, anyway, it's actually a pretty large model, and I talked to Bob about it, and he says, yeah, it's big. He told me it's 2 kits, because Revell also makes a 747 kit by itself, as well as the shuttle by itself. But yeah, every time I go to Hobby Lobby, there's a Stratofortress that is calling my name, and it's like $60, I think.
Mm-hmm.
How much are those big ones that you've just showed? The Missouri and the PT boat.
Okay, the Missouri was $279, and the Lindbergh PT was $118.
Wow.
So
I mean, what's good with those is that for anybody who's watching, it might sound like a lot of money to spend on a model, but when you consider the scale, size, and the detail that you get with it, it's value for money, really.
I didn't have a problem with the price of the Missouri at all because of the sheer size of it. I mean, when you compare it to a 1/3, you can pay almost as much money for a 350 scale, depending on where it comes from. Now, this is a trumpeter, and I think trumpeters' prices, in the States at least, are fairly reasonable. So, a 1/350th scale at around 30 inches is going to run you anywhere from, say, 70 for a really basic model up to about 180, 190. So, to get 5.5 feet of model for $279, I didn't think was bad. I mean, I had to decide, hey, I'm going to do this, because normally you could buy 3 or 4 models for that much money.
Well, yeah, but it's also quite a bit of time commitment to it, too, because of the scale. Because of the scale, you have a lot more detail. You're saying you're painting guns. You probably have a couple hundred to do, don't you?
Yeah, well, there's 20 40 mil twin Bofors, so that's 40 of these. And you can't even see them, these tiny little twin guns. And over here, and I don't know that you can see this, but this little, let's see, this little pile of parts, these are all 50 cals. 50 cal machine guns, all with photo etch. So, there's apart from the painting of the main hull, there is an absolute huge amount of fine detail to build before you even start to stick anything on the model. So yeah, it's kind of fun.
Mm-hmm. Kind of fun. You've just finished a build that had several hundred pieces, from what I understand, photo etch. And you said at some point you must be crazy, and here you are doing it all over again.
Well, that was the hood, and I actually bought 2 photo etch kits, one from Edward and one from Model Shipwrights, I think it was. So I had 2 different photo etch kits to add to it. So yeah, that nearly drove me crazy. But with the Missouri, I'm only using the photo etch that came with the kit, and that's what bumped the price up too, because Trumpeter actually put photo etch in. Mind you, there's still 11 frets of photo etch, ladders and railings. But you got to do that, because otherwise you don't get railings in the plastic kit, and it's just not going to be finished unless you've got railings and decent-looking ladders. So. It was crazy to set out and do it all again after swearing my way through the hood, but I called the hood a practice kit, and I thought that the Missouri being so big, it would be a lot easier, but guess what? No detail parts got 10 times smaller.
How long did it take you to do the hood, though? And you said you didn't even do all the photo etch only because it just drove you nuts. You just did what was important.
Yeah, it took me about a month to do the hood, month and a half.
How long do you expect to do the Missouri?
I think I could be getting close to completion by around Christmas.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Well, the longest part at the moment has been getting this hull painted. Because of all the detailing, masking and remasking, but I'm at the point now where I'm almost ready to start putting parts on the model. However, I can't do that until I finish painting the hull because there's going to be so much handling of that hull that I need to finish the painting and get it sealed, with a protective coat. So, because it's like when you're handling a model, I'm going to knock it around. Well, that's how I broke the rudder off, because I had to go and repaint the hull because I did something really stupid, which I'm not going to tell publicly what it was, but I had to redo the hull entirely. So, this time I want to get it finished, get it sealed, get it mounted on the stand before I actually start putting bits and pieces on the deck.
Well, Phil is also somewhat of an accomplished photographer, and he's going to take some pornographic pictures of it once he's done, I'm sure.
It's a mongrel to photograph.
It is. How are you going to? That's what I like to see is the bird's eye view of what you're going to, how you're going to photograph that thing.
Well, actually, the photos I've taken so far, I've just taken it out in the driveway and tried to blur the background as much as possible so I can get a decent shot of it. But yeah, I'll take I'll set up the video cam and video me trying to photograph the beast.
Have you posted any pictures on it of it?
Yeah. There's I did post quite a bit when I first started it, but I haven't made that much progress, so I haven't posted anything new. And of course, today is dreary and wet, and the hull looks crappy because I've still got to finish the anti-fouling section, so it looks scrappy. So I don't want to photograph it in that state.
Okay, I had found something of photos. I went to your page here.
Oh, I haven't posted anything on my. They'll probably just be in my album.
Let's go over here. There we go. Here's your page. And I think this is what you were talking about, the tiny little bastards.
Yeah, they're the 50 cal machine guns.
I particularly like the little clothesline pin here.
Oh, Hobby Lobby have wonderful stuff. Those tiny little clothes pegs are marvelous for this sort of thing.
Oh, sorry. I somehow went ahead of myself there. Any other pictures on this? Oh, okay. There's that. That tells you the scale of this sucker. It's rather large.
That's huge.
Yeah, there's the finished hood down in the bottom left.
Oh wow, that is quite a difference.
Yes.
And it actually looks like it goes from one side of the room to the other side of the room.
Yeah. Well, the hood is 30 inches long.
Right.
So you can get 2.5 of them along the top of the Missouri. Oh, not 2.5. That's not right, because the Missouri is 53 inches. So yeah, just on 2 of them.
And this is one of the photos you took outside, painting the primer on it, I think. The base color.
That's the base color. That's the ocean gray. And as you can see, my practice sprays. Upturned.
The recipe is here for it.
My upturned garbage bin. Yeah, my recipe. A few more squirts and another squirt of this, squirt of that. I made enough to last me the whole model, so I didn't have to try and replicate that color.
Nice.
It's the only model I know of that actually requires a dry dock.
He's right on the ball, Carl, and he's right on the ball.
I want to give a shout out to Kimberly Andrews, who's watching. She just sent me a text, and she's watching. She can't join, but she's watching. So I just thought I'd throw that out there.
Hey, Kim.
And of course, what we have left in our guest list here is Randall. How you doing, Randall?
Hi, Jack. How's everybody?
I'm hoping your sound will come through clearly enough, and you tell us what you're going to do, what you're doing, actually.
Hi, everybody. Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Yes, we can hear.
Good. Well, at the minute, I'm working on this Canberra PR9. There aren't that many photographs on the forum yet, but I was too busy to take photographs.
That's pretty cool, Randall. When I was a kid, I lived on a rocket range in South Australia, and the Canberras would break the sound barrier right over the town at about 1,000 feet. One thing I always remembered was those Canberras.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool aircraft.
That's pretty cool. I
actually live in South Australia. We haven't seen a Canberra fly over here in ages.
You wouldn't have been born then, Heath. That was back in 1964.
No, we get F-18s fly over here.
We had Canberras flying right up until 2006, the PR9 reconnaissance variant.
Yeah.
That's what I'm.
The Australian Air Force flew the Canberra and the Dassault Mirage, and then they traded the Canberra over for the F-111. So we had those.
And now we've got the Super Hawk.
Yeah, and then of course eventually they got rid of the Mirage and went to the Hornet. There might have been something in between the F-16 or something. That anyway, I've stolen your. Sorry.
Actually, I got this commission. The one Canberra H131 in 4 different stages of its career. We got it into our museum at Long Cache. Long Cache used to be a prison camp, and before that it was an RAF base. And they used to build Sterling bombers there during the war.
Cool.
The thing came home, but I got the job of building the same aircraft in 4 different versions, which is fun.
That makes total sense. I mean, the place where they were built used to be a prison camp. The place where they flew over used to be a prison camp.
Yeah.
Well, you Brits have certainly an interesting way of doing things.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We just had joining us, and this is somebody I haven't seen in a tremendously long time. How you doing, Kim? And no sound today? There's no sound.
Silent.
First join, when you first join a Hangout, you're automatically muted, so.
No, it's doing nothing.
Well, gotta say, you haven't sounded so good, so. But Kim, I haven't seen you. In so long. It's good seeing you. Let's see. I'm trying to fix that. You texted me. Okay, very good. We'll just move on. And what else did you say? No, you didn't say anything else. Okay. Anyway, let's see. What do we have here? I'd like to share some of our members' work. And let's see, quit chasing me around here. And this is Bob Busking's build for the shuttle, just as I showed you. And he dirtied it up a little bit. I'm actually surprised that he did that. I wish he was with us to tell us why.
I think it looks good, though. I do think.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying it doesn't. Yeah, I'm not saying it doesn't look good. I'm just saying, what an interesting choice.
Yeah, but I think the idea behind what he done was that he wanted it to look like it had already flown a couple of missions.
Okay.
So I think that's what he was going for, was to try to make it look like it's. I had done a couple of re-entries.
Well, you said couple of missions. Don't you think NASA would send it to the car wash? I don't know.
They didn't think.
No.
They didn't seem to. Yeah.
No, I think they let the weather do it, because I think once you come in through re-entry, I think you're pretty much burning off anything that's on the hull.
Oh, that's true.
I think the astronauts said, "Don't you dare wash off my status." So they just let it build up over the years.
Really?
I don't know.
If you're putting me on, you got me. Let's see.
Building it as she appeared when she was being ferried to, I think, Los Angeles, or her, after the shuttles were retired.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, I think so. I think that's what Bob was saying.
I think even in the museum, she's still filthy.
Yeah, well, I seen the mock-up in Huntsville, Alabama, and I was surprised to see how small it was. There was a 1-to-1 scale mock-up of it on the booster and an external tank, the whole 9 yards. And it was laying on its side, and I have to say, I'm surprised to see how small it really is. Well, just think the cockpit up here is probably the size of probably a 12 by 12 bedroom,
No, you can say that. Yeah, but in the cockpit, you've got the commander, and then you've got the pilot, and then behind you, you've got the.
There's 4 people, and you have a 12-foot by 12-foot room is not necessarily a large room.
And then you've got 2 that are underneath the cockpit, so you've got about 7 people.
Testing.
Because you've got the commander, the pilot, the specialist, the payload specialist, and then you got the mission specialist and the science officer down on mid deck.
Yep.
Yeah. In the Science Museum in Hong Kong, you've got an actual front end of the shuttle that you can go in and walk around and have a look.
Is this working? Hello.
Yes, it's working.
Hello, Kim.
There we go. Hi.
Hi, now we can talk to you. How are you?
I am awake earlier than I ever thought I would be on a Saturday.
I was just wondering. I'm going. Kim up this early?
Yeah, no, I realized what was going on, and the sun is really bright this morning, so I couldn't sleep, and I figured, what a better way to wake up than to hang out with you guys. So.
Oh.
You're just saying that to all the guys. But I haven't seen you in a long, long time, Kim. And you do post on a regular basis. But that's your posting just telling me you're alive and well. That's all.
Yeah, no, it has been a while since I've been able to make it onto a video chat. Just life circumstances haven't really allowed it. But it's good to be here and see you all. And I actually finally got, I think you saw this in my last post, I finally got epoxy so I can finish that stupid P-51. Oh, it's been crazy here, but there's some good stuff coming up. I can definitely say that much.
Go ahead, share.
Well, I've actually been working on this Enterprise project that I've been working on since I've known you, right?
Yeah, for about a year, yeah.
For about a year. It's come to the point now where I've gotten the help of people like Rick Sternbach and Lee Stringer and Andrew Probert and whatnot, that they're going to be helping me with art that they've donated to me to run a fundraiser to get a CAD computer so I can actually really work on this project.
Mm-hmm.
And
there was discussion that there are some people in the modeling / Star Trek community who want to take a hold of the original model and restore it. As you well know, it's owned by someone, and he don't want nobody to be looking at it, let alone touching it.
That's correct.
What's that?
That's correct. I've actually been in contact with the chief scientist of the Air Force, who actually knows Jeff and is aware of Paul's most recent video posting and efforts, and Jeff definitely doesn't want to restore it. He wants to preserve the Enterprise as it is, as a part of sci-fi history. So he doesn't want to have it touched.
Our member, Jay Barron, said the same thing in a private hangout. He said, if you own something like that, that's up to you. I mean, it is history, and it is something that's the choice of, and until he donates it to a museum or something like that, it's not fair game. It's private property. So what you're doing is probably what he was saying also, as if you want to be, you know, tossed about, traveled around the country, you build one. Why not?
Yep.
I've been keeping an eye on what we're talking about here with with Paul Olsen. I mean, I'm in regular. I don't talk to him, but I write to him in like text form, and he's thinking that Jeff might, if they try and make some sort of agreement and meet halfway. But I agree with you guys. If Jeff doesn't want, who is the head of Amazon, who doesn't want the ship to be restored, then that's entirely up to him.
Well, yes, that's what we're saying.
Well, I mean, there are two different points of view here, because you've got the point of view of having it put back to its pristine condition as it was in the motion picture, or there's the look of it of, wait a minute, this thing was in the other films looking like this, and if you change it, you're going to take it away from what it is now.
Yeah.
Point two, Carl.
Do you know what I mean?
That's generally where he's at. When I was talking to Mark, who's the Air Force guy that I was mentioning earlier, he's actually been to the facility at SpaceX, or not SpaceX, but Blue Origin, where it's actually residing. And about a week after Paul posted the video about saying, hey, you know, we've got this plan and we want to do this and that and the other, Mark spoke with Jeff, and just like,
yeah.
Because he's like, you know, I want it to be the part of history that it's been, and I don't want to take away from that by having it stripped down to its bare components and then reworked.
Well, you know, there's something to say about that, because the television show model it has been at the Smithsonian for quite a long time, and they decided to do a rehab of it.
Yeah.
It looks atrocious. I have to say, I've seen it in pictures. It's embarrassing, and to what they did to that model. It is a part of history, but it's public. It belongs to the public now, and I think they really screwed it up. Quite frankly.
I've heard a rumor though that the Smithsonian is looking for somebody to redo the model.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard that they are looking to have it, because obviously it needs to be restored every once in a while.
Well, yes, it needs to be restored every once in a while, but the
I think what Jack's trying to say is, is that the way they had it originally was the right color, the details were
No, it wasn't the right color. It was the wrong detailing. It was just altogether just wrong. I've seen pictures of it, and I'm sure if I would visit it in person, I'd probably take a piss on the exhibit. Really, I would. That's what I think of it. Just
yeah, but I've heard that they are trying to, because it's been 20 years, I think, since they redone it.
Uh-huh.
So
there is that out there, Carwin. They have been floating that rumor around, but as of yet, I haven't heard anything solid personally. I've heard that other people have discussed it, but I haven't seen anything solid myself, unless anyone else in here has.
But let's all face it, though. We're modelers. We want our dirty little mitts on it, I'm sure, because it is history.
If I could pick anyone to restore that, I would just give it to Greg Jean. I would just say, you know, there you go, mate.
There you go. Take it.
Okay, moving on. There is a video here that I found on Jeffrey Field's video. I'm not sure if video is coming through the Hangout.
Yep.
Okay. This is a 65 Buick Riviera. Yeah, let's look at the model as it spins around. Isn't that a cool way to display it?
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm.
I really like that. It's really kitschy. I love it. And I'm actually thinking, you know what it would be like to do that to all my models? I think I'd be dizzy, but that'd be awesome.
Those bases are quite cheap.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, they're going to be. I think for you. I think they'd be about $12.
And are they motorized?
Yeah. You just put a couple of AA batteries in there and switch it on, and off they go.
Awesome. All right.
Do you know Jason Ware, Jack?
Jason Ware. Bart. I should know. Why does he sound familiar?
He built that 6-foot Enterprise. That 3/4 studio scale Enterprise.
Yeah, the half studio scale.
3/4. It's 6 feet, so it's an 8-foot model. But anyway, he took his 1/350th Polar Lights refit and put it on a turntable recently as well to take similar videos.
Okay. I'm sorry, I was just in the middle of Bob was telling us in a text that he says the shuttle model was delivered to the National Air and Space Museum, and they wanted to be space fresh with one of the towels or blankets replaced. Sure, that would be doing the appropriate exhibition of the. I just got to invite him in. So, anyway, what do we have left here? Help me out, guys. I'm sorry?
I can see that Lou's on. Oh, Bob's sure. Bob's showing up.
There's Bob.
There's Bob.
There's Bob, and he can tell us why he dirtied it up instead of making it nice and clean.
I'm just going to say something right now. I've made a momentous decision.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to be scratch building a certain ship. Now, I need to screen share this, so just give me a second, if you don't mind, Jack.
Go ahead.
Hang on a minute, let's go find the picture. Okay.
There's Lou. Oh, we've got a full hangout.
Yeah, we got a full hangout. It's typical of the Across the Pond.
Yes, it is.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to be scratch building. Now, I need to screen share this, so just give me a second.
The suspense is killing me.
I know, I'm hurting so bad.
Okay, here we go. Alright, now, see this ship here? The USS Ares.
Oh,
Yeah.
from the Axonar.
Yes. I am actually thinking, now, this could be a very big undertaking. I mean, I was talking to Jay about it this morning.
Yeah,
I'm actually thinking of scratch building it.
It's typical of the Across the Pond.
Yes, it is.
Uh-oh, something's happening.
Yeah, we're getting some reflection off Lou.
Well, it sounds like he's watching and participating. That's what happened to me earlier.
I like the Axonar. I don't mind it. It's got a bit of a weird back end to it, but yeah.
Well, Jay and I were saying that the easiest part is going to be the saucer.
Of course.
Oh, yeah. From the Axonar.
But the hard part is going to be the secondary hull, because how in the heck, I mean, okay, yeah, the pylons, not too bad, but the secondary hull, it's going to be a bit of a working with it. I mean, you got the shuttle bay just here, and then you got the impulse engines just where they normally should be, but the problem I'm going to see with it is probably the entire secondary hull, and to have it in what scale. And I was actually talking to my wife this afternoon, and I'm saying, well, if I did it in the 19-inch scale, like the old Enterprise A, it might work. But if you get it into a 350 scale, that'll be even better.
Oh yeah, if you're going to build something like that, building it at a larger scale is going to make it easier.
Yeah. So, but I still say that secondary hull is going to be a bugger to try and build, because you got 1, 2, 3, 4 photon torpedo bays, and then you got, looks like you got 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 phaser banks on both. Hang on. No, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the bottom, 7 on top, and aft torpedoes as well.
Well, you've got a lot of compound curves on there, but I think I wouldn't be too worried about the detailing, because once you've mastered doing the compound curves and getting all that done, the detailing is going to be the easiest part.
Yeah, that's my thinking as well. So yeah, I'm hoping that I can get that started sooner rather than later.
So Bob came in, and since he was watching and he wasn't around, explain why you dirtied the shuttle.
When the after it was delivered to Washington D.C. For the National Air and Space Museum, they wanted it uncleaned up from its last flight. So the actual shuttle is filthy and on the bottom. I mean, the heat tiles are all burnt on the bottom and everything. But then the ducktail is clean because I just put it on just for the ferry flight.
Sure.
And so that's why I'm modeling it as representing the final flight of the Discovery.
Yeah.
For that.
Okay, I'm sorry about being anal retentive about that, but I feel very special about my space program.
Well, that's what they wanted at the museum, so they didn't change any of the blankets or tiles or anything.
So they left it the way it is, the way it landed.
Right.
Okay, that's fair.
But then my T-38's all nice and spiffy clean, so.
Yeah, I saw a picture of it too. Really nice. Really nice. And finally, there is 907, I believe, members. It's just over 900 members here at Amazing Plastic. I'm just totally amazed by you guys building. One man in specific, he's a HO scale, looks like he's an HO scale modeler for his trains. Bubba Punk, Pete. Has been building a chemical plant, and this apparently is his inspiration, but it looks like grain elevators to me. But he's building a chemical plant for, let me get down here. Let's see, there was, I can use pictures, but videos are hard to share. He's saying his hose here is a little out of scale. He's the one that said that, and his fans watching him build this said, yeah, it looks like it's out of scale. But his ability is just amazing. What do you think, guys?
Yeah, that's pretty special.
Yeah, I mean, when you see that thing after he's painted it all up, I'm pretty sure you won't be able to tell how big the actual thing is. Because he's put a lot of good detail in there. He's put a lot of good physical. He's put a lot of little things, like the rivets for the clasps that hold the pipe, or the braces and stuff like that. So when that's all painted up, it's gonna look brilliant.
I'm just wondering how he's gonna reach in there and paint it myself.
That's his problem.
That is his problem. I just can't say anything more than I'm blown away with you all's builds. Seriously. Anyway, it was a very special Across the Pond Hangout. I hope you all agree, watching and participating. Is there anything else that you guys would like to cover today? Oh, why don't we talk to Lou here? Hi, Lou.
Oh, hello. It's the longest I've gone without talking.
Yeah, you came in pretty late. Take it away, Lou. It's your turn. You got your
So what's
5
up?
minutes time too. What's up? Everything's fine. What's up with you?
Hello.
Uh-oh.
Hello.
Hello. We hear you.
When he gets a chance to talk, he disappears.
Tell us. Talk. It's
Oh,
you.
okay. Well, see,
What are you doing?
your frame keeps dropping out and stopping. This is what I'm working on now. I had the Reliant in the other room. It's drying. I agree with you about gloss coating before you put decals on. That's where it is now. It's getting a gloss coat so that I can decal it later today. But this is what I'm working on now. It's a scratch-built cockpit for the Cylon Raider.
Nice.
With Paul's Paragraphics photo etch over top of it.
Nice.
Looking really nice.
Very nice.
A little bit of scratch kit bash interior. And I'm going to put some purple lights on inside there because you always saw the cockpit had this purple glow with the Cylons inside. So I figured I'd add that little bit of detail.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is that it? I'm doing a little bit of a kit bashing too, but I'm actually waiting on parts from Don's Light Magic. Do you have an in with him? Can you ask him where my parts are?
I've talked to Don several times, but I don't know if I have it in.
Yeah, I have a couple of, well, actually one major build that I want to finish. It's in holding, so I started another. I don't like to show my models too much in public before they're done, because I don't want to be criticized. I'm pretty shy about that.
Well, I find there's always time to start another build.
I'm good at that. Finishing is something I got to work on.
Yeah. I love starting builds.
Oh, absolutely. That's because it's fun.
I do have one other thing to tell you, Jack.
What's that?
I had taken the decal sheet from the original refit. I actually got my hands on one, and I actually reproduced it in Illustrator. I've licensed it to JT Graphics for aftermarket distribution.
Okay, very good.
So while I'm
should post
on some of my builds, I'm doing stuff.
Why don't you post things about that? That would be interesting to post.
I'm waiting for him to put the link up so that I can actually, slap it on the page.
Okay, very good. Well, then maybe I will show what I've been doing. Aside from my Miranda build that I'm waiting parts for, I'm doing a bash, and you Trek fans would know what this is.
Oh yeah.
It's a Klingon ship.
It's already wired and lighted. I just gotta put the. I built my own circuit. Sorry, Ralph. It's gonna go inside the nacelle, and we'll call it. It's gonna have blinkers and everything. So that's all I'm doing. I also I want to build a shuttle as well as trying to get some of these car builds done. But
what are you gonna name that ship then?
Excuse me?
Your ship. What are you gonna name it?
I haven't decided yet. It could be the Saladin or the Hermes.
Because we can all see the USS Paint Palette.
Well, if you all don't know what I was talking about, right here is one of my failures. It's a 22-inch Enterprise. The saucer section ended up being a paint palette and epoxy glue mixer.
Would that be the USS Vallejo?
That and Rust-Oleum and Duplicolor Loctite. That's a long USS thing, yes.
USS palette. Yeah.
It's the USS Jackson Pollock.
Clever, clever.
Yes, I am Jackson Pollock.
That would be about right. All right, everyone. I really appreciate your participation. You guys are awesome. I had a lot of fun, and thank you to our sponsors and to all our members, all 900 plus. And our year anniversary is coming up in August here, and I have some things planned for actually end of August and September to celebrate the year of Amazing Plastic. I don't know exactly what it is. I have no idea what I'm doing. But that's okay, as because you watch is because I do this, and the more I do it, more I know, more I understand how to put a show together and actually build a model and not destroy it, like so. Anyway.
I can't do that. It's showing my good.
Anyway, we are going to celebrate our year anniversary, and I think it was a year ago in September that I started doing Hangouts for Amazing Plastic. So.
Oh God, it's a year already.
I'm actually getting sentimental. What's that?
It's a year already?
Yeah.
Good God.
Yep.
Good God.
And I have in October, I know this, in October we're going to have a Canadian on who by the name of Rick, oh heck, I can't remember his last name. We call him the Badass Canadian. He does trucks. He builds a lot of trucks. He's just freaking amazing in what he does. And he's going to talk extensively about his builds because his builds are very professional looking and everything. That's going to be in October. And I do believe the last Sunday in August here, yes, the 31st of August, we're going to have Richard Cleveland on.
Who's he?
Yeah, he's the one who started Amazing Plastic in his show. If you all are wondering what has been happened to Richard in his show, he's had some issues he had to resolve, and he has been filming extensively, from what I understand. And he has many episodes of the Amazing Plastic, the scale model show, already in the can and ready to be put up on the internet. So we'll see what he has to say later on this month on a Sunday hangout. Not on a across the pond because it's too early for him. When we start, it's like 5 in the morning for him. But hey, So anyway, everyone, thank you so much for joining us. And as always, model on. And you all have a good day and a good week. Bye. Bye, everyone.
And don't forget, the hangout with the Isle of Misfits Hangout Model Builders. Thursday. Not Friday.